What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Back here once again on Madden 25. We're here with another Madden 25 rebuild, and we got to do the Cincinnati Bengals. Of course, the reason why is they're 0-3 to start the season, and history tells you you start 0-3, you don't make the playoffs, and that's completely unacceptable for a team like the Bengals. So let's go ahead, jump in, and do the Cincinnati Bengals rebuild in Madden 25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciate it. I'm recording this on Tuesday. So if there's any like crazy Bengals news that comes out tomorrow or after I recorded this, then that is why I don't really talk about it in today's video. But as a Commanders fan, I just got to say, good game. It was an electric game. Seeing Jay Daniels play the way he did was absolutely amazing. I feel no remorse towards Cameron Taylor-Britt for all the stuff he said. Other than that, like I said, GG's to the Bengals. But taking a look at this roster, of course, you got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Mike Gesicki, Trent Brown, who unfortunately got hurt in yesterday's game. And then, of course, I know defense is missing a couple things as well. But if we generate the best possible lineup, they definitely, and you know, like I said, since Trent Brown is out for the season, we can put Amarius Mims, who will probably start for the rest of the year, I imagine. And then, so offense is looking good. And they got Zach Moss and Chase Brown. On the defense side of the football, you were missing B.J. Hill and I believe someone else as well. I can't remember exactly who it was. But yeah, I feel no remorse towards this guy right here. He was talking a lot of smack about how he had a college offense. What happened? Other than that, we're going to simulate year one. I want to see what Madden thinks about this team. If they start 0-3, does the Madden gods have it in them to get this team in the playoffs still, despite starting 0-3? That is the thing we're going to find out at the start of this season. So let's go ahead to my year one, and let's see if we start from 0-3 to the playoffs. They got the Panthers next, which should be a winnable game. The Ravens, division rival games, are always up in the air, as we know. And then the Giants. So that's definitely 2 out of 3 winnable games. You could definitely still beat the Ravens. The Ravens started 1-2, almost went to 0-3 by blowing a lead to the Cowboys. But enough talk. Let's just go ahead and see if this Bengals team turns it around this season. So unfortunately for the Bengals, Madden does not believe this team can turn it around from an 0-3 start. We finish up at 6-11. We miss out on the playoffs entirely. If that were to happen, I imagine Zach Taylor is fired immediately. It would be interesting to see how this offseason goes for them. I think you have to resign Jamar Chase. I wonder if they'll be able to keep both Higgins and Jamar. My gut tells me they aren't going to be able to keep both of them. That's just what I'm thinking right now. But we'll find out, I guess. That's a long ways from now anyway. But 38-7 from Joe Burrow on the offensive side. You had 760 yards from Zach Moss. Chase Brown added 201 yards as well. Jamar and T. Higgins were both incredible. Jamar, 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns, 7 touchdowns for T. Higgins as well. Trent Irwin, as that third guy, was at 800. Was Yoshivas not even playing? Wow, he doesn't even have his right face shot. He's only a 69 overall. A little disrespectful to what he's been doing lately. I imagine that Madden rating will go up very soon if it has not already. On the defense side of football, you had 5 sacks from Trey Hendrickson, 2.5 from Jermaine Pratt, 2 from B.J. Hill, 2 from Sam Hubbard, and 1.5 from Dax Hill. So clearly, we need to upgrade the defense. That's very apparent, especially after last night's game against the Commanders. And then we also need to figure out what we're going to do with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. Like, I think keeping Jamar Chase is a no-brainer. You got to keep him. You spent very high draft capital on him, of course. After you drafted Joe Burrow, you got Jamar Chase the very next year. T. Higgins, you want to keep him, but I'm just questioning whether or not they'll be able to afford it. I guess we'll find out. I'm going to try to keep both of them just because that would be awesome to do. But in real life, I'm not sure if they're going to be able to. With the amount of needs they might need on defense. So let's just go ahead and get into the re-signing stage and let's figure out how we're going to go about things. So obviously Joe Burrow is locked up for years, but this is where Jamar needs to be re-signed. This is where T. Higgins needs to be re-signed. So T. Higgins, it actually doesn't have Jamar Chase as a free agent. Very interesting. A little surprised by that, not going to lie. So let's start with T. Higgins. So it does say we have some money. So I will go ahead and start with re-signing T. Higgins. I'm going to bring him back. I thought Jamar Chase would be a free agent as well, but Madden does not register him as a free agent for some reason. Unless he got re-signed, to my knowledge, I don't think he is. Dax Hill, 5th-year option is interesting on him because I don't know much about him, but I guess I'll go ahead and accept it. And then Mike Gesicki at 29, I mean, he's a fine tight end. I guess we can give him like a 1-year deal type thing. We can bring him back. So we'll go ahead and sign Mike Gesicki. He's been pretty solid for, through the first 3 games for the Bengals. And outside of that, I might let the rest of these guys go. So Trent Brown, if we have Amarius Mims, maybe it is best to let Trent Brown go. With the same magnitude, maybe it's nice to have him just because O-line depth is always important. So I'll bring him back. Trent Brown, welcome back. And that leaves us with very little room to work with. Now, I need to see what's going on with Jamar Chase, because I thought for sure he'd be a free agent, and he just isn't right now. So It says that, or maybe he does have another year after this, and I'm just bugging out right now. So maybe he's not a free agent this offseason. I thought he was. But let's go ahead and get into day one of free agency, and let's take a look at this roster and kind of see what we need to do. I think offense, the only thing I feel like we probably need, a third wide receiver would be nice. I do believe Yoshivas in real life is developing into that, but unfortunately in Madden, he just isn't that good. But if you look at this roster right now, you got Trent Brown, Orlando Brown, Marius Mims, who developed into a star. You got Volson. We could probably move Brown or move one of these guys to guard. So the offensive line's looking fine. I'm not really worried about the offensive line. Running back, I feel like we need a good running back. Wide receiver, need a third one. Tight end, Gesicki's fine for now. On defense, we did have some guys develop. So Geno Stone, I don't think he was a superstar earlier. I don't think Jermaine Pratt was either. Jenkins developed into a star, D tackle. Corners are fine, nothing to write home about. So there are some pieces on defense. I won't lie, there are some pieces. I believe Miles Murphy is also still young as well, and he is a star development, so that's great. 23 years old. So let's go ahead, just get into free agency, and let's figure out if we can address those needs. Of course, we don't have a ton of money to work with, so it's gonna be tight. So we can't go out and sign all the big free agents. We only have $26 million in cap space, but if we can add maybe one of our needs through free agency, that would be super ideal. So not gonna lie to you, this free agency class is probably the worst I've seen in all the rebuilds I've done so far. There's not a lot of good things we need that are in this class. So I'm basically gonna address the two offensive needs that I kind of pointed out. Rondale Moore and Elijah Mitchell. We get a third wide receiver, Rondale Moore, and Elijah Mitchell as our starting running back. Sounds fine. He's been pretty good in San Francisco when he's gotten opportunities. Of course, health has been a concern for him. But we do get both of them, so that addresses a couple needs on offense. So I think we go into this draft more than focus on the defense. I think that's going to be the game plan for this first offseason. We still have T. Higgins. We still have Jamar Chase. We still have an elite offense. That's fine. Elijah Mitchell will be an elite upgrade that running back spot. Elite was a stretch. I don't know why I said elite, but he'll be a solid backup or solid start at the running back spot. I don't know what I'm saying right now. And on the defense side of the football, we definitely need still like a D tackle. Another corner would also be awesome. So definitely still some things that need done, but overall, not a bad start getting Rondale Moore and Elijah Mitchell. So let's go ahead and get into draft night. So jumping straight into this draft, I'm curious to see where we will be picking, considering we went 6 and 11. So we get pick number 6. That's going to be fun. So we'll go ahead and see what ends up being at pick number 6. So we will, like I said, be focused on defense. So corner goes, a quarterback goes, a left end goes, and a corner goes. So missing out on both those corners is a little disappointing because I think we could use one of those. So we have a right tackle, we have a QB, we have a right tackle, and out. Oh my gosh, this is terrible. Okay, so we do have one consideration, I guess, and Gardner, JC Gardner. We're going to take anything on defense. I guess this is the guy to take. Missing out on both those corners is definitely disappointing. We're not taking QB, obviously. That wouldn't make any sense. So I'll look at this guy, and Gardner, he's clearly the best player we could probably take. He's got D blockchain, D finesse moves, B power moves. I don't know, man. As our top pick in this draft, I'm not feeling it. I kind of want to trade down, not going to lie. So, or we could make an impactful trade with the amount of money we have left. I just don't like any of the options on the board right now because we don't really need offense at all. So, I think we might turn our attention to a trade, whether that's trading down in the draft or maybe trading this pick for a vet. I don't know. There's something we need to do, and clearly what's on the board right now is just not what we should be going for. So I kind of looked at some vets to trade for using the 6th overall pick, and nothing really made sense. So instead, we're trading down this draft a little bit, but we're getting another first next year. We are trading a 7th, a 4th, and a 5th, but I'm not too concerned about that. Getting 2 first-round picks is massive. We trade down a little bit, and we'll let the rest of the draft board fall to us. So Washington takes George Phillips, who I was kind of looking at, but I wasn't convinced he was the guy. But hopefully I didn't make a mistake by passing on him. So we have Kevin Spence. We have some linebackers on the board. We got some D tackles. D tackle is definitely a massive need for us. So I do like the idea of taking one of these D tackles here. Free safety, it feels like we got something good going on there. Linebackers, I kind of like where we're at with that. So I think it's between one of these two guys. We're not going to trade down again. We got Laurie on the board with A tackle, B power moves. This will probably be the guy we take. Really good stuff I'm seeing so far. I don't even want to look at the other guy. I actually really like how this guy looks. We're going to take him. No hesitation. A scouting report on this guy. Number 9 in true value, and you drafted him at 15. So I think we did an incredible job there. Now, only normal dev, that really, really sucks, but he looks incredible. He looks like a damn good player, so hopefully he can make a huge impact at that D tackle spot. So let's just go to our next pick. Maybe we take the L there, but at least we gained a first-round pick on top of just grabbing him as well. All right, so now in the second round, I'm hoping to walk away with a corner. Maybe get a good, and there's no corners on the board, of course. So we have Kevin Spence on the board, who did fall. I mean, he was kind of on the board earlier, so maybe we just take him and run with it. We could, come down the board a little bit and look at Ron Booker, but that might be reaching just a tad bit. B zone, D, yeah, D man. I'm not really liking that. So if we look at this guy, I do like the B hit power B zone. I mean, he looks solid. He's still here. He fell. He was available in the last round, so I'll take him. He was ranked number 40 in true value, and you drafted him at 38, so right around his value. Only normal dev again, so we do not hit on either hidden development or hidden dev in the first 2 rounds, which sucks. We'll go make our last pick in this 3rd round and see if we can make up for it. So maybe we draft our corner here if there's a good one that makes sense. Let's see. So corners, again, non-existent at the moment. Wide receiver, maybe we just take this left in and Cologne. And again, corners are just not here. So we might be going to the next year with not... I mean, our corner room isn't like terrible, but it could definitely use some work. So in the 3rd round, we could take... I mean, I already took a safety, so I don't think I'm going to take another one. I'm going to look at Fernando Colon. He looks absolutely terrible, not going to lie. Don't really like what I'm seeing there. Wide receiver. I mean, there's a quarterback. Brett Fitzsimmons is a crazy name. Why did we use all of our scouting percentage on this guy? That doesn't make any sense. All right. Right outside linebacker, run stopper. I mean, maybe we could take a linebacker, move him down. B block shitting, B zone. Maybe best player available. It looks like that ended up being a solid pick. Number 50 in true value, and you drafted him at 70, and he's a hidden development linebacker. So I guess I'll feel solid about it. Didn't really get the positions I really wanted necessarily, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. I think this was a solid offseason, and we're just kind of hoping that the Bengals, with not an 0-3 start, can actually make the playoffs next year like they're supposed to. So offensively, the lineup obviously didn't change too much. The only thing we really did on the offense is we added Elijah Mitchell and we added Rondale Moore. So hopefully that helps out the offense just a tad bit. And on the defense side of the football, you have Geno Stone. You have the linebacker we just drafted, who ends up being a 73 overall, not too shabby. We also have a middle linebacker who's hidden dev as well, which is nice. Jermaine Pratt, Logan Wilson, Jordan Battle, Kevin Spence ended up being a 76 overall. We got Daxton Hill. We got Turner. We got Cameron Taylor-Britt. We got Trey Hendrickson still. Jenkins. Our 1st round pick, solid 76 overall right out of the gate, which is nice to have going there. But yeah, overall, pretty solid stuff. I feel like this team looks good enough to be a playoff team. Rondale Moore would be our slot wide receiver. So that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, obviously, this team is built to be a playoff team. So hopefully that, I mean, we're technically not even just a playoff team. We're built to be a contender. So that's what you hope for, and that's what I hope Madden sees in us. So we're going to go ahead, simulate year number 2 with this Bengals roster, and hope to find ourselves in the playoffs, because if not, it might be doomsday. So at the end of year number 2, we do get back on track. We are a playoff team. We won 11 games as expected. So let's go take a look at the player stats. We draw Josh out on the Bills in round 1. So offense, 6th in the NFL, which you want to see out of a team led by Joe Burrow. And defensively, we kind of knew it wasn't the best, but 21st, I guess I'll take it. It's not like bottom 5 or whatever. So 44 touchdowns from Joe Burrow with 6 interceptions, what you expect from him. Elijah Mitchell, not bad, 825 yards and 9 touchdowns on the ground. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Rondale Moore are all incredible, with Joe Burrow leading the way. 17 touchdowns for Rondale Moore is pretty nasty. And then 12 and 10 on top of that. And then defensively, sacks-wise, you had 11 from Trey Hendrickson. You had 4 interceptions from Jermaine Pratt, 2 from Logan Wilson, and 2 from Jordan Battle. And the beautiful part is we have an extra 1st-round pick this offseason from the trade we made in the draft. So that's awesome to have as well in our back pocket. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our first playoff game going up against the Buffalo Bills. This should be a slugfest, and I cannot wait to see how this unfolds. All right, here we go. The Bills start out with the ball, and it looks like we got a stop, which is incredible. But they got the ball in great field position or whatever they did. I don't know. But we scored touchdown to respond, and they're going to get an interception, it looks like, unfortunately for us. And we get a field goal, 9-20. All right, this isn't looking good. Well, it's going to be an interesting one. It's a weird score right now, but we could get back in the game. We get an interception, 24-27, 24-34. And we're going to respond. Can we get a stop? We cannot. Our defense is not stopping anything. We know our defense needs work. And we do get a stop. It's 38-41, a very high scoring affair. Can we go? Oh my gosh, we threw another interception. Okay, well, this is interesting. It's 38-41. All we need is a touchdown, or actually a field goal ties this game as well. Let me jump in real quick and let me see if I can cook. We're wearing our all-white uniforms, and we have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. What could possibly go wrong? Famous last words. All right, Jamar Chase, one-on-one potentially. Or I have T. Higgins one-on-one. Oh, nope. That's a bad ball. I got really lucky. I thought I had T. Higgins, and I thought he was going to be able to beat that man, but not at all. Okay. So that's fine. We take a shot. Does not work out. We'll look at Jamar Chase again on this side. It looks like they're leaving him one. Actually, this time they bring help. I'm just going to go ahead and take the check down with Elijah Mitchell, and we're going to gain a first down. Joe Burrow's throwing 5 touchdowns today. Incredible stuff. All right, let's keep this drive going. I'm going to go back to the same play. I love the look they've given us. We just got to wait for our shot. I'm going to just go right back to Elijah Mitchell. I waited too long for that. Again, all we got to do is get in field goal range, and we'll be solid. So as long as we get in field goal range, we should be fine. All right, so I'm going to go verticals again, but this time we're going to bring it to the left side. So let's go ahead and see if they're going to leave Jamar. I think Jamar Chase is going to be open. Oh my gosh, we overthrew him. Joe Burrow overthrows Jamar Chase. No way. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? Okay. Well, we're going to come out here again, same play, and we're going to just let this develop. I think I have Mike Gesicki for a first down. We do. That was massive. We needed it. And we have no timeouts, I just realized. So we got to be very careful with what we do next. But 36 seconds left on the clock. Still plenty of time to work with. I'm going to see if Jamar Chase can get a touchdown here. I'm going to throw this ball up in the air. And again, it's just not accurate at all. We're not just throwing. We're not. Oh, penalty. Holding offense? That's not good. Okay, so did not expect that to happen. So Alex Kappa finds us in a hold. It looks like we might need to just settle for a field goal here, potentially. So I'm going to try to get us back in field goal range. We definitely need that. I'm looking for Mike Gesicki. And let's see. Ooh, we might actually have Jamar Chase for a touchdown. That is just too easy. What are we doing, Buffalo? What are we doing? What are we doing? All right, I'm going to assume I got to jump in and watch the defense, because if I don't, they're going to score in like 2 seconds, and that'll be game. So, but we might be moving on. So I'm going to go to deep zone. They do need a touchdown, so we just got to make sure we don't let up a touchdown. And we're moving on to the next round in a very high scoring affair. We got to make sure our defense has got to step it up, though. Like, it's got to step it up, man. All right, so they're going to go to Keon Coleman. So great start for them. Keon Coleman gets them pretty close. But again, they need a touchdown. So as long as we don't let up a touchdown, we should be fine. We continue to man user Jermaine Pratt here. They're going to put Khalil Shakir in motion. I don't need to follow him. This isn't man. Okay, so see, they're going to go to Shakir. All right, they're going to have a chance at the end zone. They are definitely going to have a chance at the end zone. I low-key just want to start playing prevent almost. They do have 3 timeouts. I do got to keep that in mind. They haven't had to use them yet, though. So I guess I won't move to prevent just yet. But they are slicing our zone up so far. All right, so I'm going to go back to Main Pratt. And they're going to try. You can have that all day. 5 seconds on the clock, 4 seconds. They're probably going to have one more play left. And this is where we look at prevent. Man 3 deep, easily. We just guard the end zone, and we just let Josh Allen do what he does. Like, if he scores here, GG's to him. But I might bring some pressure here. Logan Wilson, I'm not going to be able to get around the corner. But we are going to intercept that, and that is going to be your ball game. So just like that, we're moving on to Divisional Weekend. So going to Divisional Weekend, we draw a familiar foe. Of course, you guys may know him. It is the Chiefs. The Chiefs, of course, have been the Bengals' Achilles heel for the most part, other than, of course, they did beat them in the AFC Championship to get to the Super Bowl that one year. But we start off with the football. We got to score. If we don't score points in this game, we're probably not going to win it. And we go up 7-0, which is a great start. They kick a field goal. Defense so far has held the Chiefs to 3 points until now, and the Chiefs are going to start running away with this. I knew their offense was going to wake up eventually, and our offense is just doing nothing so far. A field goal is not going to cut it. Like, that is not how you beat the Chiefs. 17-31. Defense cannot stop anything. It's just not going to happen for us today. So we get to the divisional round, but other than that, we're not going to the AFC Championship. Our defense just is not good enough yet. We made some strides, but we still got a little bit of work to do on this defense. So my plan, of course, is to re-sign everybody that needs to be re-signed. And with that extra draft pick that we do have, I honestly might be super aggressive here and trade for someone on the defense that could help us out a ton. So there is quite a few free agents on our defense, though, not going to lie. So that's going to be interesting to figure out. But we'll figure that out in due time. So, of course, it starts off with Jamar Chase. This is a no-brainer. You keep Jamar Chase around. You don't even think twice about it. So he is going to stay. That's great. If we would have lost him, would have been really unfortunate. Geno Stone, superstar. I think we got to keep him around, obviously, as well. He does say he wants to go to free agency, though, and I cannot franchise tag him. Trey Hendrickson, I do think you keep him around as well. He's still an 86 overall. Still a really good pass rusher, so we'll bring him back. Cameron Taylor-Britt, despite all the disrespect he gave us this week, I will, as a Commanders fan, but I will bring him back still. Jermaine Pratt, at 30. I mean, on a cheap contract, he'll come back. So Geno Stone's my only concern right now. Miles Murphy, I could accept the 5th-year option. Gesicki, I guess we might need to figure out a new left-end situation. I will bring back Alice Kappa as well. So this isn't going to give us a ton of money to work with, but I want Geno Stone back, but I can't franchise tag him. That gives us no money to work with. So first and foremost, we need to go to team salaries and see who can be cut, because we got to free up a little bit more money. But we're in Super Bowl contention. This is what happens. So Elijah Mitchell. So Orlando Brown to me is the obvious cut. I think we can get away with cutting him. That's going to save quite a bit of money. He's 30 years old. I'm fine with releasing him. So we're going to release Orlando Brown. We're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do with our left tackle situation, but we do have Trent Brown we can move back if we need to. So that I'm not overly concerned about. But number one priority for me is bringing back Geno Stone if possible, unless if there's someone better to go get, and it'll be interesting to see what this free agency class looks like actually. So Andrews, I mean, we do need a new tight end, but I don't know if I want to go all in. Like Greg Newsome is exactly what we kind of need right now. That's exactly the kind of guy we should be going for. But Andrews sounds phenomenal as well, not gonna lie. So, I guess that was Geno Stone at free safety. So, if somehow we can get Geno Stone, Mark Andrews, and Greg Newsome in the same offseason, I would be a very happy man. But like the odds of that happening are very, very slim, not going to lie. So, I am going to try to get Greg Newsome to start things off here. So, Greg Newsome, we are going to be his number one offer by a long shot to start things off here. Geno Stone, we're going to offer him a contract as well. That's going to give us about $10 million to work with. He does have other offers though, so we have to come in a little bit more with a little bit more money. So, all right, and Andrews obviously is going to cost a ton if we want to get him. So, how much is he going to be exactly is the question, because I low key want to find a way to get him. He has interest in coming over. The Ravens aren't using him so far this season, but he would be amazing to go get. So, I'm going to go look at what else we can do. I can restructure some contracts and free up some money to sign Andrews. I know I can. So, savings, let's see. Elijah Mitchell doesn't do us much. I'm not going to cut Logan Wilson. All right, so let's go see who's making all the money, right? So, Joe Burrow, we could restructure. Would free up $18 million in cap space. I mean, that's a no-brainer to me. If we can find a way to get Andrews by doing that, we do it. Trent Brown, maybe we can restructure him as well. All right, we're going to do that. So, we're going all in on this offseason, restructuring some salaries. And that's going to give us enough money, I think, to go for Andrews as well. So that is going to be the game plan. Mark Andrews, we're going to come in over the top, get ourselves a tight end alongside Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. This would be an elite offense to add him as well. So we aren't guaranteed to get him because we do have the Chargers coming in as well. And then Geno Stone, we're not guaranteed to get either. So I'm going to go very player-friendly on all these guys, except for Greg Newsome. It looks like we already kind of have the lead there. So Geno Stone, he still may not come back, which is fine if he doesn't. And then on top of this, I'm going to go after Andrews aggressively. We'll see if he signs. Fingers crossed he does. It would be an amazing get. And we don't get Andrews. Gosh dang it. That sucks. Okay. So do we get Geno Stone and Greg Newsome? Andrews does not sign back. I assume. So we still only have $6 million in cap space. That sucks. I think we have more than that, though. I don't think, since we didn't get Andrews, I assume we still have more than that. Man, he goes to the Chargers. That really, really stings. Not going to lie. Gesicki, Tyler Higbee are your other tight end options. We could just grab K-Dot, I guess. But yeah, we do have a little bit more money. But getting Greg Newsome is huge. Don't get me wrong. But Andrews would have felt incredible to grab to add to this offense. It would have gave us a whole new dynamic. So, On's our new tight end. He's solid. Nothing to be, overly happy with. But I think, like I said, with that extra first-round pick, I really want to see what we can maybe do with the defense, because we do need. Oh, okay, hold on. So let's see. Amarius Mims and Trent Brown will be our tackles. So obviously, going to move one of them to, Trent Brown's listed at guard as well. So Trent Brown is going to go back to right tackle. So let's start there. So we do need. I'm kind of ignoring our offensive line situation. Alice Kappa, I thought we got back, or maybe he didn't come back. I don't remember. Maybe he didn't resign. Or no, he is still here, right? So yeah, Kappa. It was someone else we lost. Okay, so. Our interior O-line needs some help, for sure. So, then Rondé Moore went up to a star potential, which is awesome. So, center and right guard, I almost ignored that being a problem. Defensively, I think we look fine, especially after adding Greg Newsome. So, maybe we come in over the top and trade for a guard or a center. Or maybe just look in free agency to see if that's here, because I was even looking at that to begin with. So, or, in the draft, we might have those options as well on our table. So, Joel Bitonio is there. I can't ignore that. I think we got to go for him. So this will give us a guard, which is exactly what we needed. So we'll go for Joel Bitonio. He has no other offers. And then center was the only other thing I feel like we needed. And Ryan Kelly's not bad either. So I think we get these two guys. That fixes the O-line problem. And we don't have enough money for that. So I don't know if we'll be able to get Ryan Kelly, unfortunately. Yeah, he's not going to sign whatever I'm about to offer him. So if we get the other guy, and then Ted Karras is a free agent, we could just bring him back. So Joel Bitonio is not going to sign yet. A little surprised by that. Okay, so we got to assimilate to next week because I can't do evaluation period anymore. But that's going to really take a lot of our money away. So I don't know if we'll have enough money for Ryan Kelly. Didn't look like it. So assuming Joel Bitonio signs with us, which I think he will, this should give us a ton of, or maybe he didn't. Maybe he did not sign with us, or maybe he just hasn't made a decision yet. So he is still considering all of his options, I guess, at this moment. Assume he signs it now. He does sign. Okay, so now he has $5 million in cap space, so that is not going to be enough for pretty much anybody at this point. So I think we'll just go into the draft. Maybe Ted Karras will sign very cheap. Maybe just bring him back. The continuity is there. Maybe he'll sign that. It just gives us that guy at center, and he does come back. Okay, massive. And now we go to draft night, and we just draft whatever we can with the 2 first-round picks that we'll have. All right, so we'll be picking at 23 and 26, so both kind of late first, unfortunately. But, hey, we get to add a talent through the draft. That's all that matters. So at pick 23, we'll see who is available to us. So let's go check it out. So there's not a particular position I'm looking for. So we have a quarterback, which we obviously don't need. Talent round 3 to 4, but he was a top 5 projection, which is interesting. Don't know really how to understand that too much. We could take another left tackle. We could take a wide receiver, another free safety, another strong safety, another left end, another middle linebacker. So different options on the board. A zone, B pursuit, B tackle. You know what? I'm fine with this first pick. So we're going to take a middle linebacker to start things off here. Number 9 true value and drafted him at 23. Hidden development, middle linebacker. Pretty solid selection, I think. Okay, so it's a good start. And now let's go to our next pick. And I'm kind of thinking corner here, but it didn't look like there was any good ones. So yeah, we don't go corner. Strong safety. We could take a left tackle. I mean, our O-line, he looks incredible too. I'm going to take him. He looks like the best player. I didn't even have to look at other options. He was... Okay, grades don't tell you everything, I guess. You know what? Whatever. It is what it is. I feel like we have the team already set in stone to go on a Super Bowl run. So we're about to go in this 3rd season. Probably make it the final season because I believe we'll be a playoff team. We just have to hope we can run through the AFC. We could have gotten Andrews, man. That would have been absolutely freaking amazing. But hey, if we would have gotten him, I don't know if we would have been able to afford much of anything else as our O-line was a problem. But it is what it is. If we look at the roster, not managed team, sorry, not relocating the stadium, but take a look at our roster. And just kidding, that's still the same thing. What am I doing? So manage roster, I think is what I need to click on. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Adjust lineup. All right. This is the lineup going to season 3, potentially the last season, assuming we have the success I think we will. The O-line's looking good. Tight end is fine. We got another running back in the building, which is nice. Rondo Moore, ended up being a star development, which is awesome. Defensively, we've added a middle linebacker. We added Greg Newsome, so that helps out hopefully a ton. All right. And then what about the guard or offensive lineman we took? He was a 70 overall, so nothing incredible by any means. All right, let's go ahead to my season 3, and let's see if we can go on a Super Bowl run. So at the end of this season, we went 12-5. Either we missed the playoffs entirely at 12-5, or we got a bye. And I'm hoping it's the bye. And we missed the playoffs at 12-5. Are we serious? Holy moly. I was like, 12-5 doesn't feel like it's good enough to be a bye. But 12-5 doesn't get in the playoffs is insane. We actually missed the playoffs at 12-5. That's actually incredible. Holy moly, I was not expecting that. That is insane. What a wasted season. We missed the playoffs at 12-5? Oh my goodness. Offense was 2nd in the NFL and we missed the playoffs entirely? Defensively was... defense still isn't good. But, bro, that is crazy. 44 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. I mean, what an incredible year. Rondo Moore has been incredible since we signed him, by the way. Wide receivers are still just absolutely eating. Defensively, Jenkins had a breakout year, 13.5, 8.5 from our D tackle. So I'm assuming those guys will maybe develop or get a trait regression or progression. But man, I am heartbroken. I cannot believe we missed the playoffs entirely at 12-5. That's insane. So, honestly, I think I'm just going to run things back and hope that we make the playoffs next year. Like, damn, bro, that's actually crazy. I'm speechless right now. I've never seen that happen before. I don't, is there ever a time where a team went 12-5 and missed the playoffs? I mean, 12, obviously, for a long time, it's been a 16-game season. So, like, if your team won 12 games, you probably made the playoffs. Not in this case, and we are about to have negative amount of money left because of the... We could be in trouble, bro. That could have just been a wasted offseason or a wasted season, and we could lose quite a bit of talent because whoever's a free agent, we're not going to be able to... Like, okay, so this is a fifth-year option, thankfully. Dax still we're not going to be able to bring back. We're not going to be able to bring back Jordan Battle. Okay, so thankfully it's not too much, but yeah, we're pretty much going to lose. I mean, we drafted a safety, so that's pretty important because losing Jordan Battle sucks. Losing Dax Hill is going to suck. Thankfully, Marius Mims was just a fifth-year option, but holy moly, what a tragedy, man. All right. Well, what can I do? There's, nothing I can really do about it. I went all in on that season, and it paid off. We went 12-5, but we did not make the playoffs. We got to run with this guy as our running back, clearly. Mitchell is going to be gone. Chase Brown's going to be gone. So, Rondell Moore's a superstar wide receiver now. Cade Otton's a star tight end. You got Geno Stone, Jordan Battle about to lose, man. That sucks so badly. Spence, you're going to have to step up, man. Dax Hill is about to be gone, which is our second corner. We're going to get worse, man. There's nothing we can do. Thankfully, we have this guy as a superstar linebacker as well. So, all right, well, I'll see you guys at the end of next season. I'm just going to run the same lineup back. I'm literally just going to next season. There's nothing I can do. We have negative $27 million in cap space. It's my fault. I restructured guys, and that's what happens. But, man, that stings. That stings. At the end of this final season, we do find ourselves back in the playoffs, this time only winning 11 games, but it gets us in. Just an absolute crazy conference last year, just insanity. So our lineup did get a lot weaker, but we did have some pretty good draft picks from the assistant GM, which is nice. Offense is still incredibly good. Defensively, it just hasn't been good throughout the video. Bryce Thomas, 805 yards. Rondell Moore has just been incredible. I don't know. I did not expect him to be that good, but he has been that for us. And 4 interceptions from Logan Wilson. So we're going to go play the Los Angeles Chargers. They went 11-6. This should be a tough matchup. We have the home game, which gives us a little bit of an advantage. So let's just jump straight into things. And we're back in the playoffs. That's all I can be thankful for. We won 12 games last year, and now we went 11 this year. We get in. What can I say? All right, well, last thing we beat Justin Herbert and the Chargers to move on to the next round. So we are going to have a 0-0 ball game so far, and they're going to strike first with a touchdown. Our offense was second in the NFL, but we can't score for some reason. We finally do. Chargers will respond, and we're going to respond with another one. We get an interception, 21-14. That's massive. 17-21. We need another score, and we are going to get another interception, I think. And we do score off it. 17-28, 17-35. As long as we don't blow a massive lead here, I think it's safe to say we are going to the next round, and we are. So, we move on to the divisional round. We got to the divisional round earlier in the video. Of course, I jumped in and beat them in the wildcard round this time. Didn't have to jump in. We're just straight up moving on to the next round. So, let's see if we can go beat whoever's in front of us in the divisional round. And now we go to the divisional round to play the Tennessee Titans. Now, I do know the Titans got that one quarterback we got in the Raiders video, so this is not going to be an easy matchup. It's not Will Levis anymore. But they're going to start off. Okay, so 0-0. We start off with the football, and we do not score on our first drive. Again, we need to put up points because our defense is not good. We go up 7-0. The Titans respond with their own touchdown, and looks like we turned it over or something. It's going to be a tied game again. All right, so we need a score here to take the lead. We don't. Get the ball here. Nothing and nothing so far. So defenses have stepped up a little bit. Get a field goal on the board. Titans will respond with their own field goal. We go in the fourth quarter with a tied game. We take a touchdown lead. And we get an interception. That might be all she wrote. And we are going to move on to the AFC Championship. So, 70-24. Barely beat them. Low-scoring games. The defense has stepped up on both sides. What is going on with that guy's hat? I have no idea. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next round, which is the AFC Championship. So an opponent I wasn't really expecting, it's the Colts. Anthony Richardson and the Colts went 14-3. And they're the team we got to beat in the AFC Championship to get to the Super Bowl. So, they were a damn good team, it looks like. We are going to let them go up 7-0. We are going to strike with our own touchdown, so that's great, but they respond once again. So I'm assuming Anthony Richardson is going to just score nonstop on us, and this might be the end of us if we don't get back in this game. And we are going to get a touchdown there. We could Okay, we're back in it. 21-21. They're going to respond with their own touchdown. We need to respond, and we don't. And this, we're back out of it, I think. And this might be the landing spot. We might end off in the AFC Championship, and the Colts are going to be the better team here. So, you know what? I guess we made it to the AFC Championship, but Indianapolis was the better team. We end off 28-41. So, unfortunately, I do not get the Bengals a Super Bowl. Colts were better. I'm going to end it there, guys. You know, last year was crazy. Going 12-5, missing playoffs was not something I was expecting to see. Other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I will see y'all in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed these Madden rebuilds. Other than that, this is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.